High Crimes on a Magical Plane, and we have the author with us right now, Kris Neri. Kris, good morning. And this is funny, delirious. I mean, there's so many adjectives to describe this from all the people who have already had the pleasure to read this. Must make you feel very good about this book.
Oh, it does. It does. The praise has been enormous. It's received praise from like a who's who of both fantasy and mystery fiction. I like to call it Lucy and Ethel in Fantasyland, where Ricky and Fred are really hot.
How is that? I've never heard a description like that. But this really, you really incorporated a lot of different emotions and a lot of different things into this.
I did. Well, even though it's very funny and it's very madcap, there were things I wanted to say in this, such as the fact that I think the people who come into our lives are not so much the ones we want. They're the people we need at a time in our lives. And
therein lies the map we lay out for ourselves.
Yes, exactly. And this features a fake psychic who isn't maybe not all that fake, and a genuine Celtic goddess who's hiding in the FBI, working as an FBI agent. And even though these women are polar opposites, I think there's something they're both meant to learn from each other.
Now, a movie star disappears in L.A.
Yeah.
And then from that unfolds a plot.
Yes. Samantha, the fake psychic, assuming that coincidences exist, Samantha just happens onto this kidnapping. And she decides to scam her way into the FBI's case, because then the press will say celebrity psychic Samantha Brennan is helping the authorities with their case.
Exactly, of course.
And there she meets Annabelle Haggerty, who is an FBI agent. And she thinks, well, Samantha is dressed like the character on the book. She dresses very eccentrically, which I think represents the inner girl, but she thinks it also attracts attention. And
which it does.
Which it does, of course. Yeah, someone labors in a Renaissance ball gown, you notice that, even in Los Angeles. And she meets Annabelle, and she thinks, oh, what a workaholic drone. I could be like that, but no, of course. And then she starts receiving genuine psychic visions for the first time in her life, and they drive the FBI's case. And then she discovers they're not hers, they're Annabelle's, who is really everything she claims to be, and so much more.
Well, now, is Annabelle kind of undercover?
Undercover.
That's her cover, being okay, great.
Yes,
okay.
Because, you know, in the FBI, if you said you were really a goddess, you know, they would lock you up.
In a hurry.
Yes. And she also is one of those people that, you know, the gods have behaved badly in the past, and she wants to make up for how bad her ancestors behaved. So she maybe goes a little too far about, you know, being too responsible.
You know, knowing the background, the plot of it now, who's this book for? Is it for primarily women or men or everyone?
You know, it has been read by people from young adults, because they're young women in their 20s, late 20s. So it has been sold as young adult fiction. It is read by women and men. I get emails from everyone, and it's been reviewed. I mean, there's a review on the cover from Diana Gabaldon, who says it's delicious, and Charlene Harris, who says both characters are delightful. It just received a wonderful review from a fantasy magazine just the other day. It's
I would love to see this on the screen.
Oh, I would too.
That'd be
from your lips. No, I think it would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Here comes the question that I ask every author who has ever sat in that chair, and I get the same answer, so please don't disappoint me. Your characters begin to tell you what they want to say and where they want to go.
Yes, absolutely. They drive the story. Well, you know what Andrea said in the last segment about how you have to get out of the way when you paint. You have to get out of the way when you write, too. And I think it's almost as if the characters and the book exist somewhere out there.
So they're actually speaking to you as you've got your pencil. I don't know how you write.
Well,
typing.
Yeah.
But they're actually talking to you.
Well, they talk more in the middle of the night when I'm asleep. They wake me up a lot.
So they give you the dialogue they want.
Oh, yes.
That's interesting. Like I say, every author has said it.
Yes, and if you try to make the book go somewhere it doesn't want to go, it stops.
Wow.
So I really do think that sometimes it seems like I just
Do you have a
channel
certain
it.
time and place that you write, or you can write at any
Well,
time?
my life is complicated. I own a business. I run the Well-Read Coyote. My husband and I own the Well-Read Coyote bookstore in Sedona. I also teach writing for UCLA Extension.
Wow.
So I have a very busy life, and it has forced me to learn to be able to write anytime, anywhere. And
So you can turn other things off and go right to this, which is a talent in of itself.
Some authors can't do that.
Yeah.
no, I know. I couldn't at one time.
You're very talented.
Well, I've learned
very
to do it.
gifted to be able to do that.
Well, the more you write, the more you stay in the book. And so, you know, like I wrote last night, when I write this later today, they're still with me. You know, if I let a week go by, then I have to go back and reread what I wrote.
The inspiration early on, always written, what drives you? Driven to this by what?
I don't know, but I have written all my life. Before I could read, I used to make up stories. My parents would just hand me a book, and I would go through and make up a story.
And you didn't know one word?
No. So I think, you know, I really was born writing, and I've written all my life.
Do you think everybody has a book in them?
I think a lot of people do have a story in them.
And they're just fearful to try to launch out?
Yeah, and certainly I understand that, because it's scary. It's, you know, you don't know what other people are going to say, and it's kind of, since it comes from a really tender place inside, we're all kind of vulnerable about it.
I think it's that blank canvas and that blank piece of paper. I think it's that same syndrome. I think both artists experience that same fear. There's a name for it, and I'm losing it.
Yeah. And we all, it's almost impossible to get to adulthood without having that nasty inner critic in your head.
Oh, yeah.
A sequel?
Oh yes, I'm working on it now. It's called Magical Alienation.
So,
and it takes
Samantha
place
and Annabelle will meet again.
Oh yes, in Arizona this time, in Scottsdale and Sedona.
Excellent. I like that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Terrific. And they can find the book, I'm assuming, most everywhere.
I will be but I will be signing the book this Saturday at Old Sage Bookshop in downtown Prescott, 110 South Montezuma, from 1 to 2:30. But they can find it in my store, the Well-Read Coyote, and the Poison Pen Bookstore in Scottsdale.
Okay, so it's this Saturday. We see you at 110 South Montezuma.
Yes.
Excellent. Looking forward to that.
Great stuff.
When we come back,
We've got Mei Wei Wong talking about the Sedona Arts Center.
she's saving the barn. We're going to have a barn raising. If this barn goes away, we're all going to get together and have a barn raising.
That would be good.
Back after this.
Thank you.
Thank you.